So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another FIFA 19 career mode video. It's time we discuss some things that annoy us in FIFA 19 career mode. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a few things that you guys have sent in for the Things We Hate series, and I'm also going to throw in a few things that annoy me personally in my career modes. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a thumbs up for me. Let's get to 1,000 likes. And if you're new around here and you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button today and the notification bell, and you won't miss anything. My content at the moment is driven by the community, so I guess if you got anything that you find annoying in career mode and I haven't mentioned it before, leave a comment about it, or you can message me your lists on Instagram or Twitter. The first one is going to be from myself. I do find the press conference emails a little bit annoying because I never show up anyway, and I always get spammed before a big game or competition about these press conferences. I never turn up. They're pretty much useless anyway. It's the same basic design for the last like 10 years or something, so I see no point in them. EA still likes to spam me with these press conference emails, and the assistant always says, you know, the media is waiting in the press room, so if you want to go and talk to them, they're waiting for you. I never show up, so what do? They just go, alright, he's not turning up again, let's go home. I don't know what's the point of these press conferences anyway. Maybe it works for something, I don't know, but I just find it annoying and I don't do it, so stop sending me emails, please. So I'm sure you guys love it when you're playing player career mode and you get excellent manager feedback, and unfortunately in this year's career mode, some manager feedback is terrible. Take a look at this image sent in by Farden. The first line says, few players have hit the target as consistently as you have this season. Keep up the excellent work, so pretty much praising you for your accuracy. The line underneath that says, too many of your shots haven't been on target this season. You need to spend more time practicing. 1 minute you're praising me, telling me I'm the best shooter in the league. The next one says that I absolutely suck. So make up your mind, buddy. Now this year there's been a lot of complaints regarding player names, especially the generic player names. So I've got a few examples here. The first image was sent in by Kai, and you can see there's a left back here. I guess he's like a generic player or a youth academy player that's now older, but his name was La Rafara, so he's basically got the same first and last name. And there's also some more examples of this. These next few images were sent in by Rap Addicted Boy. There's Lewis there. There's also Harrison, who is a 17-year-old right midfielder. And there's also a photo sent in by Kieran, who says his youth scout has the same last name as these two players who have the same first name. So his youth scout was called Brendan Fitzpatrick, and he found a guy called Cien Fitzpatrick and another guy called Cien Fitzpatrick. So it's pretty ridiculous this year, but it does make for some funny images. EA definitely need to sort this out because it's becoming a little bit of a joke now. This next one comes from the Lion King. He says, when you sub your captain off in a cup final, you can't see your captain holding the trophy when he's not playing the full game. Now this does annoy me a little bit as well, because there's been so many times where I've won the league or won a cup competition and I had the captain on. I had to take him off for certain reasons and I didn't get to see him lift the trophy. And I instead saw some guy who just got the armband for like half an hour able to lift the trophy. So we're going to take Pogba off here, who is my captain for this cup game. I'm going to win the cup and then I'll show you what the trophy celebration looks like. So we are up to the trophy celebration. Remember, Pogba was my original captain going into the game and he was subbed off. And Chris Smalling actually got the captaincy armband. You know, he gets to lift the trophy now. So he got a bit lucky there. As you can see, he's acting like he's been the captain all season. And he's high-fiving everyone. Pogba is nowhere to be seen. He's not even in the lineup. Look at that. He's not even with the teammates there. I don't know where he is, but it's a bit unfortunate because the trophy celebrations absolutely suck. So you're not going to get to see your actual captain lift the trophy. And there's Pogba right at the back, sort of to the left there. You can see his hair colour. He should be the one lifting the trophy, not bloody Chris Smalling. Look at that. Chris Smalling acting like he worked hard all year, captained the team all season. Pogba's just like, yeah, forgetting that he was even captain. I don't know. This game just doesn't make sense sometimes. Now, we all love some board objectives in career mode. I never follow them because I believe that you're not going to get sacked as long as you do relatively well on the pitch. So I don't really bother with my youth academy and stuff, but I know a few of you guys do. You like to keep that manager rating all the way up to 99. My one always ends up at about 60 or 70 at the end of the season. But check out this image from Moz. He says he experiences unrealistic board expectations. So as you can see, he's managing Real Betis, and they asked him to reduce wages by £44,000 a week. He said to achieve that, it would mean that he would need to sell his best players as they are on the higher wages, which in turn makes the team weaker and unable to compete. And he says that this objective is stupid and impossible for him to do if he wants to compete. So you can see on the image, it's like a medium objective as well, so it's pretty important. It's a financial objective, and it says in the short term, reduce player wages by £44,000 a week. So yeah, I would not follow this if that was me, to be honest. There's no way I would be selling my best players just to lower the wages. But yeah, sometimes the board objectives are a little bit dumb. They don't really cater to the team you're working with. So I'm sure a few of you guys might have experienced this one. When you read your predicted finishes, sometimes they're a little bit harsh. So this one happened to Ollie. He said he was playing as Nottingham Forest and he managed to get a Europa League spot. And in the next season when they did the preview, he said that his one said that he was predicted to finish 19th, but the headline says we can make Europe. So pretty much even if you qualified for the Europa League, the game doesn't care. They're still going to say you're going to come 19th, which is very rare for a team to go from like 7th to 19th in one season. But I've experienced myself, even when I win the Premier League, the next season they said I'm going to come 2nd or 3rd. This next one comes from Eli, I think that's how you pronounce it, but he said that player swap deals are a rip-off because the manager always asks for so much more money on top of the player's value. So he said he wanted to swap Verratti for Pogba, and Verratti was worth 70 million, Pogba was worth 75, so they're pretty much at the same value, but the manager wanted Verratti plus 92 million for the deal to go through, which would equal $162 million. He said he could get Pogba on his own without having to throw in Verratti for 120 million. So we're going to try this ourselves and we're going to see what happens. So currently Pogba on his own is about 65 million. The minimum offer for him should be about 85 million. We're going to see how much cash they actually want for him on his own. And then we're going to try and do a player swap deal as well. So if we offer 85 million here, we'll see how much they actually ask for. We'll do 89. We'll do 89 just to be safe. So Jose Mourinho says he would sell Pogba for 97.2. Maybe we'll bring it down just a little bit. Bring it down to maybe 93. So we could get him for 93 million. Mourinho accepts that. So now we're going to move on to a player swap deal and see how much cash they want. So I simmed a few days forward and my negotiations are now over with Pogba because I didn't talk to him about the contract terms. So he didn't come over. So I wanted to keep it in the same career mode. Otherwise it wouldn't make sense to do this experiment. So we go back to the transfer hub now. Looking to do a different deal. We're going to do a player swap deal. And I don't think Pogba's value would have went up that much in a few days. So we'll see what Mourinho says now. Remember, we got him for about 93 last time. So let's see what happens when I do a swap with Verratti. Now, Verratti for me is worth 48.5 million, which is not bad. But it's still not enough. So they're going to ask for some money. Turns out that they want to do a deal worth 80 million in cash plus Verratti, which would equal about 128 million. Now, I could get Pogba without Verratti for only 90-something million. So I'm pretty much paying for Pogba on his own, plus losing a player, which is a bit of a rip-off. So what should have happened, and what would make more sense, is to balance the book. So if I could get him for 93, Verratti is worth about 50 million already. I should only need to put in another 40 million to equal that 93 million sum. So what I'm going to do is like lower the thing by half. We'll give him a couple million extra there and submit my offer. That would be a more fair offer because on his own he was worth 93. So let's see what they say there. And Mourinho says that they're sticking to their price. So basically you're getting ripped off in a player deal, especially if you have the cash to buy the player outright without having to throw in an extra player. So if you have 93 million, you're better off just buying Pogba on his own and selling Verratti at a higher price. You probably could get a decent amount for Verratti on his own. But if you don't have the cash, obviously a player swap deal is probably a bit better. You only need about 80 million. But still, 80 million is a lot of money and it's still a bit of an inflated price. It turns out that, as I simulated a few weeks in advance, Barcelona actually paid for Verratti's release clause, which was 93.4 million. Pretty much paid for Pogba on its own, didn't need to do no player swap deals. So I guess in certain situations you're better off just avoiding player swap deals, especially when you're dealing with big money, because you can get a little bit ripped off. So that is pretty much all the things we're discussing in today's episode. If you want to contribute, make sure you leave a comment or something on Instagram about the things that annoy you in FIFA 19 Career Mode, and maybe we can get a part 2 going. And if